What's up? What's up? Hey guys, how are you guys doing? My name is Luffy. Welcome back for another video. Thank you guys for tuning in. In case you guys don't know, like I said, my name is Luffy. I'm 25 years old and I'm a real estate developer here in Richmond, Virginia. I control $1 million, $2 million, I don't know really, in real estate. And I'm here to give you guys some quick updates on the PPP program and the EIDL. But before I begin, I just want to say that if you have been enjoying my videos and you guys enjoy these daily updates on these programs and you're enjoying figuring out how you can secure your financial future but also your financial now, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment down below, and tell me what else you want me to talk about. But for today's video, I want to give you guys, like I said, some quick updates on the PPP and hopefully on the EIDL as well, but mainly I'm going to focus on the PPP. So, Paycheck Protection Program, as you guys would have seen last video before YouTube took it down, I've been telling you guys for a while that there's some core issues with the Paycheck Protection Program, and we've now seen how companies like Shake Shack and Ruth's Chris and Potbelly were able to take advantage of the system. So the CEO of Shake Shack went back on Sunday, said that they're going to return the money. Some people out there believe that this was done out of goodwill. Some people out there believe that this was done because there were bad loan terms. Whatever it is that you believe, all I know is that his explanation, the CEO's explanation, wasn't sufficient for me. So he was trying to claim that the process was really confusing and vague, and that they didn't know that it was really for small businesses until after they had gotten the funds. I'm calling bullshit on that because I'm 25 years old. I don't have lawyers or accountants on my payroll, and I knew weeks ago what it was. I knew the stipulations, I knew the requirements, I knew how to make it forgivable. I discussed multiple times weeks ago with my friends about how this is still a great loan opportunity for large companies. So I just want to call bullshit on, I think his name is David. Whatever he wrote on LinkedIn, for me personally, bullshit. Greenwashing in a certain way, trying to be, spin it into a good PR move. But I don't want to focus too much on that. You guys can watch my video from yesterday if you guys want to learn about that. I want to give you guys some new updates for today. So today, the Senate should be voting on the new rendition of the CARES package. So 3.5, as they call it, CARES 3.5. And this is going to provide the additional funding for the PPP and the EIDL. So we're looking at about $310 or so billion going to PPP and about $60 billion or so going to EIDL. Now, trust me, guys, I'm making it here and today. Even if they give $310 billion more to PPP, just like I said weeks ago with the original funding for PPP, it's not enough money. It's going to go. Now, is it going to go as quickly as the first time? No. But it's still going to go. So please go to a lender, please go to your bank, whatever. Make sure that your application right now, today, right now, is being processed. You're processing, you're somewhere in the queue. And just get ready, because I guarantee you, as soon as this thing gets passed, the conversation is going to switch over into how can we help individuals and can we make some more money or checks for them. Speaking of, you guys might have heard about a couple resolutions that are going through right now or are being discussed right now. One of them is for people to get $2,000 a month. The other one is for a nationwide mortgage freeze and rent freeze. So in terms of the $2,000 a month, my personal opinion, it's not going to happen. Okay? I'm just going to leave it at that. So, and even more so than that one, the national mortgage freeze, that's definitely not going to happen. And if you want proof, or if you want my idea of why I don't see these programs happening, look at the rollout from these programs, the PPP and the additional funds that were given to the EIDL. Even if it does happen, I'm not putting my faith or my stock into these programs saving me or bailing me out. I know what it is. This is how government operates. I'm not green behind the ears. You know what I'm saying? I saw 2008. So to be honest, none of this is really shocking to me. It's more so just disappointing to see that this is how it really is and nothing is really changing. But here's some quick statistics for you guys. I'm going to pull out my notes so I can share with you guys in case you guys want actual numbers to back up the claim that these programs were abused by the banks. Yeah, we need to throw a lot more shit at the banks, guys. Like, it's not just Shake Shack and Potbelly and Ruth's Chris and these large publicly traded companies that we need to get on. It's also the banks, because the banks are the ones who shuffled around applications which should have been done in a first come first serve order, and they process the larger loan amounts first so that they can get larger commissions. And I told you guys in the video, I believe it was in the video that YouTube deleted, but in that one I sent a link for the data so you guys can look at the data and see that companies like Chase Bank and Wells Fargo and USBank were screwing with your money, okay, and screwing with small businesses. And thankfully, there's a lawsuit that's currently going through where, just so I can read it correctly, JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and US Bank are all being sued for shuffling around these applications. Now, should you also put a lot of stake into that and, oh, this is a class action lawsuit, now I can get my PPP funds? And look, just from my experience, again, class action lawsuits are to make lawyers rich, okay? The lawyers can say, hey, we got to prove to this company that, they did something wrong, and that is true, partially true. The other part is that they make a lot of money off of it, because how much money from a class action lawsuit against Wells Fargo are we going to get in our pockets today for, their wrongdoings? Or better question, how many of y'all are getting money right now from Wells Fargo back in the day opening up accounts in your name? You know what I'm saying? Like, were you compensated fairly for the damage that they made against your credit and against your name back then in 2008 and 7 when? No. Okay, so it's like, why would you have that much faith in a class action lawsuit for the payout? It's not about the payout. It's more so about, the payout's only for the lawyers. The morality of it is just to show these large companies that you can't do anything you want to do. I mean, but they kind of are, because this is the worst that comes of it, is they get a little class action lawsuit. Nothing too serious for them, right? You got lawyers and accountants on your payroll. That's the other thing that pisses me off with someone like Shake Shack saying that it's, the CEO of Shake Shack saying that it was vague and confusing. Bro, you have lawyers and accountants on payroll. Like you're paying them every week, like they're your employee, and you think that this was confusing or vague. It wasn't confusing or vague at all. And a lot of people were like, well, they were just following the rules. They qualified for the government program, so they applied. And you're 100% right. And they say, oh, so we should be mad at the congressional people. It's like, well, are we not sure that Shake Shack wasn't lobbying these congressional people for the change? Why was the bill being held up in the first place? I'm not saying they specifically did or didn't. All I'm saying is, from my own experiences, people tend to act in their own self-interest. So a company like Shake Shack saying, hey, we're going to give back $10 million as goodwill, really? You were able to access other funds, and that's exactly why those funds weren't for you. You can do a capital raise on the stock market. You can sell some of your shares. Small businesses can't do that. Anyone will give McDonald's a $100 million loan. How many people will give a struggling small business right now a $100,000 loan? That's why it's fucked up, okay? So, give you guys some more statistics. 4% of all small businesses, right, that got a PPP loan took 44% of the money. 4% of the small businesses took 44% of the money. Okay? Sorry, I just had to breathe for a second because it gets me riled up. Another statistic I saw that came out, 20% of companies that have applied for the PPP have the funds deposited as of Friday that just passed, as of April 17th. 20% of small businesses that had applied for the PPP. I don't know what to say. If you guys have seen my video on the Main Street Lending Program, you'll see exactly why. Like, they can do capital raises, banks will loan them money. There's a whole ass program that the Fed did called the Main Street Lending Program. I made a whole video about it with even better lending terms than the PPP. It's a 4-year repayment as opposed to 2, right? It's not forgivable, but you have 4 years to pay it back. It's still historically low interest rate. You're going to get charged between 2.5% to 4% on a Main Street Lending Program. It's geared towards larger companies. The minimum loan amount is $1 million. Okay? Like, why do I know this, but the CEO of Shake Shack, dude, it's too confusing. No, you're just a dumbass. Okay? That's all it is at the end of the day. Either A, you're a dumbass, or 2, you think that we're dumbasses. So which one is it? You know, that's what gets me riled up. Is when people assume that we're dumb. I've been making a daily video about the PPP and the EIDL for weeks. I've been reading this legislation word for word, trying to understand what it exactly entails so I can share that information with you guys. So when I see someone trying to feign ignorance, you don't become the CEO of a 5,000 person company because basic legislation is confusing. I was confused and it was vague. Suck my dick, yo. I'm sorry, guys, but I'm done. Peace out. One love. I know I'm hyped right now, so one love. I'm out. Have a good day, y'all.